Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit, Zappy here, back again with Hunter Hunter. We're on episode 79, and yeah, just forget about the hair, okay? I've literally just gotten out of the shower, so I put my hat on. I'm going all Ash Ketchum mode if he had blonde hair, and also back to the days when the art style was actually good. But anyway, regardless of that, we're on episode 79, and in the last couple of episodes, we've had kids' deaths, which, fucking hell, still not really over that. We've got like this cartel thing running around, headed by somebody called Gyro, known as the King. I have no fucking idea what they're doing. Well, I know a little bit of what they're doing. Apparently they are involved in some kind of drug trade thing called DD, that comes specifically from the NGL area, which is the Neo Green Life place. And yeah, we met up with a bunch of a sort of squad, if you will, Kite's squad, group of 7. So yeah, Gon and Kilowatt are going with them to find out about all this Chimera and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's anything else to really talk about. It's pretty self-explanatory. Oh yeah, Ponzu and Pockle was the guy's name. Yeah, I completely forgot about his name. And to be honest, I should really write that down just so I've got it, because you know, if his name comes up again and I forget, at least I'll have it somewhere, because I'm pretty sure I tried looking for it last episode, couldn't find it, but now I have it. So yeah, anyway, don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 79 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 79. Right, well, so we've got that guy called Yunju, which I believe is the Centaur guy, right? I figured that at first, but I was just wondering, because it seemed that when Colt and like all of the squadron leaders were talking inside the fucking ant castle. They call it castle. I figure it's like more like a fucking like a hive, but whatever. Either way, you'll know what I'm talking about if I bring it up. Yeah. So when they were talking, they specifically brought I can't talk. Brought up 2 names, Malarion and Yunju. So I thought that maybe because Malarion clearly has some form of relation. Well, it seems that the koala himself is part of the squad that Malarion leads, right? But you know, until he brought that up, I figured that that maybe the koala was Yunju, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like Yunju is the centaur that's followed them into the drug smuggling fucking place, or the drug making place, right? The facility that they've got, which I figured wouldn't be that hard to find. Though I guess if Yunju and whatnot's just going around like killing these things, seemingly they can smell them, so I guess it was only a matter of time. But yeah, so it's completely unknown to the people of the NGL, or I guess the sort of the checkpoint that they are doing this. Or do they know it's happening and are allowing it to happen because it serves as like maybe some form of because it could be similar to, like, I know I keep like bringing up like the cartel. I don't know like what other like real life sort of organization or group I could really relate them to more than the cartel, because I feel like it is. So if you're talking about something like, I don't know, like Colombia, or Mexico, I suppose, because of that entire drug operation thing that they've got going on, if one of the main ingredients is from where the NGL is and you can't get it any other place, then that allows that sort of country or, you know, populace to get some kind of income, even though apparently like the income doesn't really, I mean, would currency really work there? I asked that because they said that it was 12,000 Jenny for a horse to rent, and I figured that place was in the NGL, so they use the same currency and everything, but you're not allowed to use metal. You're not allowed to bring in metal or anything like that. So what's Jenny made out of then? Does Jenny have a... Actually, yeah, I don't know, because I don't think we've ever seen, like, a physical, like a coin or anything of Jenny, have we? It feels like it's only, like, it's completely digital. And you kind of just, like, pass it through somehow. But then again, how would you do that if you don't have any technology? What? I don't know. I feel like there's nothing that Jenny could be that is not processed, and therefore it's not natural, therefore it shouldn't be allowed in the NGL, right? I'm not an idiot for thinking that. That surely that like the currency would have to be something that is not being processed, because that's unnatural. So I figure it would be more like trading. Like you would trade you know, goods for other things. I don't know. It definitely said 12,000 Jenny though, and I'm positive that was in the NGL. There's a possibility it might not have been, but it was after they exited the checkpoint and went into the NGL, right? So I figured it must have been. I don't know. I mean, it may just be an oversight that they just didn't think about or whatever, or I might just be completely wrong on what Jenny is. But I've never seen a physical thing of what Jenny is, and there's no way that it can just be digital, because that means there would have to be some element of technology in there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we got the names of the squadron leaders. The main ones seem to be Colt, Zazan, Cheetu, Malarion, and Yunju, right? I feel like there may have been a couple more in there, but I just didn't write them down. Yeah, Malarion's got the best one, I think. Like, just being able to completely disappear. I think he's got the best one. And I don't think we got the name. I know the guy's not a squadron leader, but I don't think we got the name of the koala guy. And he's got an interesting thing that he does, where he doesn't... He kills the person, and I don't know to what makes them sort of leak water, or is it blood that is like being like almost transmuted in a way to water, and it is actually blood. Or is he like killing them by dehydrating them to like by sort of leaking out all their water? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing there, but it's interesting. It's sort of like an easy tag, like to figure out who like killed the person. You know, it's like, well, I know who did that because there's only one person who can do that. But yeah. Also wrote down the 3 King's Royal Guard. I talked about it in the little reaction, but I feel like that's setting up for just mini boss battles right there. You know, you could have Kite versus one, Killua versus another, Gon versus another. At this point, it's not really, you know, it's not a surprise to say the stakes are high right now. That's super high, and I don't like it. I mean. It does make it like more. You're more invested in it because the stakes are there. But fuck. So other groups are already there, and it's not even just Pockle and Ponzus. There are other groups that have. So they must have picked up on the same radio signal that they were getting. And if that's the case, then it must have come from the fucking the cartel group, right? Because that's the only place it could have come from. The only ones that are in the NGL that have access to any sort of technology or anything like that, right? So it had to have come from them. And we haven't even seen the other groups yet. But I imagine that was the only way they would have figured out anything like this, right? Because, not to our knowledge anyway, they haven't sent out any fucking ravens flying messages across to, like, you know, to other continents and telling them that that they're being attacked by all these fucking big bug monsters. But yeah, I hope Ponzu doesn't. I've said before, like, I just feel like she has been so unlucky in this show. Like, the last thing she needs some fucking, she needs good times, man, because she's had nothing but fucking bad times throughout this entire show she's been on. So yeah, and Pockle's definitely improved. Last time we heard about him was, I'm sure, Wing was going through like all the people that had passed in the Hunter exam, and Pockle was struggling. But it seems like he's gotten a hold of it. So I imagine it's got to be a Midder, right? It has to be. Which works, of course, with the whole bow and arrow thing, which is cool. I love it. I forgot when he brought it up. I said conjure, and I immediately went, "No, it's not, man." Because conjuring means that you conjure an actual fucking physical item, whereas his is entirely aura. So, yeah. Killua standing on the horse, it's great. He's just so like there's no conscious real effort for Killua to do it just because he looks badass. It's just he does it, you know. In something as simple as having him in the background, standing on the back of a horse because you know he has that, you know, he's that skilled. He just has the balance to be able to just stand there and you know be fine with it. But it's just great. So yeah, the checkpoint. They were saying that they can't deny pro hunters, which is interesting because I feel like over the past couple episodes when they've been talking about the NGL, it seems like it's a place that's entirely on its own. Like it's almost like, I guess, in the rainforest in the real world when you have these tribes that it's almost like a nature reserve that you shouldn't. Yeah, like I'm sure there's like rules where you can't go and like mess with them. Like you can't like affect what they do. Like you've got to like stay clear of them and let them do their own thing. Which I figured that's what the NGL was. Because, you know, if you're talking about, like, tribes in our world where it's like, well, they have their own society, their own rules and whatever, but they don't, like, some of them, like, we're not even aware of. So they would be, like, completely, blissfully unaware of what the fuck's going on, like, with us and everything like that. But it seems like there's a mixture there, where, like, they shouldn't be affected, yet they allow pro hunters to go there. So they're still within the whole world law thing of pro hunters being like the top of the, you know, like the top profession and everything like that. But it's weird because I feel like they shouldn't be. It's almost like they should just be off limits if that is the case. What they're trying to do, but they allow people to come in anyway. I suppose, they do have it sort of monitored and made sure that nobody could. But then, they've already failed because there's a whole group of people down there fucking making drugs. I feel like, because you would think that the NGL wouldn't have a form of government, like they wouldn't have a governing body, like somebody who is at the top of the NGL that sees over everything, unless that actually is Gyro, in which case he's using it to his advantage. But I feel like the families and the civilians of the NGL don't really. I feel like they don't know what's going on with the drugs. I don't think they do at all. But that's just the question. Is Gyro the actual supposed to be the governing body of the NGL, or is he someone different and the NGL doesn't have a governing body at all? Because then I feel like the whole checkpoint thing will be completely non-profit, right? And they'll be doing it just out of, you know, I don't think they'll be getting paid for it. I'm tempted to believe that whoever is overseeing the NGL, which if there isn't a governing body, then I feel like the next thing would be the checkpoint, right? The people in the checkpoint. If they allowed Gyro to do this, and that's how they get paid, then maybe that's the case. I just feel like, how do they get in there? They've been causing disruptions anyway. It's kind of disruptions, but it is sort of helping the civilians because of, you know, that they are fighting back against the Chimera ants and whatnot. They are losing, but at least there's something going on. At least there's some resistance. Yeah, I feel like I think they know about it, but they're just keeping it under wraps because it's to the benefit of their own country, because it's a business, and they have like, outgoing, drugs, and then they're sourcing it out there. They're getting back Jenny, I guess, since that's their currency apparently. Yeah, it's interesting anyway. And speaking of Gyro, there has to be something about him. There's no, I mean, you've got all of his goons and all of that, but like this guy's got to have something about him. And if he is like somewhat of like a pro hunter himself, he'd have access to like to Nen, and he's probably a bit of a handful. So it's going to be interesting because at some point, I mean, I think he's backed into a corner now, right? Like it seemed like there was only one entrance, and he's sort of pinned up against a wall. So it'll be interesting to see if he fights back, and if he can, he's going up against 3 of them. So yeah, we'll see what that is there. I was wondering like how the hell are they avoiding bullets? Like Yunju and the other 2. But then I think the guy with like 50 arms, I think he catches the bullets and like squeezes them. So like he's got like this the bullets can't like penetrate him. He's got like some kind of fucking kiting armor on. Like he's a bug, so he's probably got he's covered in chitin, some kind of exoskeleton which deflects bullets. And he's got some kind of strength because he catches them and then just squishes them to nothing. So, it doesn't squish them to nothing, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, that is all I've got. So, thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I've linked certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there. And I also have a Patreon page as well, so if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers there, which you can go have a look at. There's early access, of course. $5 a month gives you access to shows a week early, and you get 4 episodes of Hunt x Hunt every week, as opposed to the usual 2 that the general public get. So by the time this episode comes out on YouTube for the general public, I may be close to finishing the entire series, so you can just binge watch all of my reactions. For just $5 a month if you can do it within a month. So yeah, good deal. There's also full length tier there, which doesn't really matter for this show because it's full length anyway, but for all of my other shows, that's what you'll need that for. And then there's other tiers where you can pay to have shows reacted to as well. So if you want me to react to a certain show, then you can go have a look at that as well. But that is all I've got, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.